Please give it up for Helen Bauer!
Walking down the staircase and just looking out, so many babes just looking at me like, yes! Makes me feel so warm on the inside, and it really helps the fact that this guy is just looking at me like, ugh, no. This? She is way too fuckable to be funny. You know, when you can just see in a guy's eyes, like, why would she have a personality with those tits? Thank you all so much for being here. Like, are you guys all fans of stand-up comedy? Woo! Yeah, me too. Like, I mean, well, it's okay. Like, there are better things. I just don't envy you, is what I'm saying. Sitting there for an hour, listening to my opinions. No, thank you. I think I just don't like stand-up that much, because there is a tendency for comedians during an hour's show to get very vulnerable. Reveal a very deep trauma about themselves, a secret. And I know I should admire it, but when I'm in the crowd watching them open up, I'm just like, you're a fucking moron. We can all see ya. I know it's not good because I'm in the audience and I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm like, I don't know what to touch. I just think I'm self-aware enough to know there are better things to watch than me. Like, there is nothing I can do tonight that would be as funny as, like, 3 estate agents letting loose a Mallorca, walking around a pool, and then falling in and shitting themselves. That is my sort of comedy, like, yes, please! I would just define my comedy maybe more like YouTube trash. For scum. Do we have any scum in? Great self-awareness, babe. Seriously, you should have cheered. I just love YouTube. I'm obsessed with YouTube fails. Does anyone watch it? Yeah, obviously. Love you. Mainly because I've just found the wedding playlist. Now, look, I want you all to like me a lot. I do. I just need us all to agree that there is nothing better in the entire world than a bride's day being completely ruined. And the light falling out of her eyes. Come on, it's amazing! Okay, I found this one video. It is life-changing. It's a bride on her big day. I'm assuming her name's like Lauren or something. She's basic as fuck! You look so awkward. Your name's not Lauren, is it? Oh, thank God. What's your name?
Cara.
Cara? Okay, well, same thing. What the fuck? You were like Lauren, gross. Cara, creative parents. No, just that sounds so bitchy. Oh my God, I'm obviously saying basic with love. I'm also basic. Look at my hoops. It's just... Personally, I define myself as basic plus because I'm self-aware with it. Does that make sense? Like, I've got scented candles. Of course I do. I'm not a freak. It's just... I don't switch them out seasonally. Like, I'm not throwing away pumpkin spice on November 1st. Because I believe in me. I'm a bit of fun. Cara. I knew this bride was basic for one main reason. Because she was walking down the aisle to Beauty and the Beast. Which is right, like we get it, right? You're the beauty, they're the beast, he's gonna rescue you. Work on yourself! young women aren't trying hard enough. Embarrassing at this point. Walking down the aisle to Taylor's Old as Time. And as she was going, her dad stepped on her train and out flopped a tit. And what was so lush, just for the women, you could see in her eyes it wasn't the good one. Like, we know when the good one flops out, like, obviously we pretend to be embarrassed, we're not whores. You're like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Stop staring, you're fucking pervert. Like, but secretly, it's like, yes. They're both the same. Like, which is your favourite tit you've got? Yeah, me too. Is that 'cause when you lick your nipple and blow on it, it wrinkles up slower? Yeah, no, me neither. What the fuck? Every woman should have a favourite tit. If you don't have one, figure it out. Stuff's important. I know which one my favourite tit is because I get drunk and I take it out. For attention. Should make it clear, that makes it sound like I have a problem. I only get my tit out when I'm drunk, so it's like super classy. It's just, it happens a lot. Because I drink a lot. I love drinking. You guys are drinking. This makes me feel like very at home right now, because I think I drink so much because it's one of the few things I'm genuinely good at. I know I'm good at it because I can currently drink 3 bottles of rosé wine in one sitting. Thank you. I feel like most of us are impressed by that, apart from this man just drinking a beer, looking at me like, 3 bottles? She can't do it. She's too thin. Correct! Yeah, I'm a lucky woman and sometimes I forget to eat. Am I right, Cara? Salad. No! See, now I've done that thing where I say I'm thin and I feel the need to point out to the guys at the back just looking at me like, she thinks she's thin. Does she know? Should we tell her? Like, obviously I know I'm overweight. Like, I know that. I've got a mum. Told me. Didn't have to. Just really fucking wanted to. She tells me all the time. Thing is, I don't mind being overweight. It doesn't bother me. The only thing that bothers me is how much my weight annoys my mum, and I'm trying this really cute thing, I guess it's for feminism, where I'm trying to not be another young woman who blames her mum for everything. But I'm overweight because my mum is liberal. Full liberal. Like, my mum didn't give us dummies when we were babies because she believed in freedom of speech, which is like cute, but my big brother's in and out of jail, my sister's a pot washer, and I do this, so good job, Anne! I tell you where I think she messed up when I was younger. If I was at home in my room, trying to study to do well in my exams, my mum would just walk in like, oh, Helen, just studying all by yourself again. Oh, you can do anything you want with your life. Anything. Do what I did. It's like, what, study dance in Lancaster and marry Dad? No. Dad's gross. Thing is, when you're told not to study, you don't study. I got the worst grades ever, but luckily I'm English, right? You can still go to university with the worst grades. They'll take your money either way. It's amazing. I got offered a place at a really bad uni, but at the same time, I got offered a job in a cafe making cheese toasties. And I'm not a moron. Like, degree or cheese. Degree or cheese. Ooh. Cheese! It was a cheese toasty cafe. I was 18. I lost my mind! My first day there, my manager, Rick, who has to be the worst businessman of all time, took one look at me and he was like, oh, Helen, just so you know, for lunch, you can just make yourself a free cheese toasty. every single day. Rick! Done! Thing is, when you don't get a degree, you still want to challenge yourself, right? Still want to be the best Jew you can be. For me personally, I wanted to see how many grams of cheddar cheese I could eat in a single toastie. Turns out, I'm a fucking hero. Not grams. No. Kilograms! Rick just came in every day like, oh my God, where's all the cheese gone? We had so much cheese here, and we've had like no customers. Like, Helen, where is the cheese? And I just emerge from behind the fridge. Like, where's the cheese gone, Rick? I don't know. 10 pounds heavier. Cheese grease coming out my mouth. Like, it's a bloody mystery. Where's the cheese gone? Where's the cheese? Genuine question, has anyone here ever gone up an apron size? Me neither. I'm genuinely very comfortable in my body. It's just I have been going through something weird with my weight recently. I do think it's important to be honest. I'm in a weird phase where, I don't know if any of you have ever had this. Basically, currently, like, the more cheese toasties I eat, be respectful. Thank you. The more cheese toasties I eat, the more weight I gain. Has anyone had this? Because it feels medical. Medical. No, I'm going doctor, it's gone mad. Basically currently stuck having to go clothes shopping every 3 weeks to replace my outfits. And it's not like I'm going up a clothes size every 3 weeks. No way, fruit's the best. Am I right, gals? What's happening is every 3 weeks of me walking around with a new pair of jeans on is these holes just appear here, in between my thighs, where the material's just gone. Fuck it, Helen! I'm not doing it anymore! I'm out! Like, give me a cheer if you suffer this injustice. Wait, thank you for your honesty. My mum thinks it's just a me thing, which is mad. Like, I get that they're my genes and it's my problem, but it's like, it's also the children. They need to sew better. I'm not taking the full blame for that. I love the people groaning are definitely wearing Primark, by the way. Also, I'll tell you what's really sad, like, obviously filming this for a special, and I really want to show you the holes that I'm talking about, and I want to pull it up and show you my shorts. It's just that I'm on my period. And you know when you think you haven't leaked, but you can smell iron, so you're not even sure. Look at me, sir! In the eyes! Respect my body! No, you know that smell when you put your hand on a metal railing at a train station? And you're like, is it my cunt? Like pennies. Madness. Felt good. Thing is, I'm a sweet baby angel, right? You can tell. Like a baby. I don't want to have holes in my clothes. I don't want to have stains on them either. But for me to get that, I've got to go clothes shopping every 3 weeks to replace my jeans. And I never want to be the female comic that stands on stage and speaks on behalf of every woman in the audience. But by virtue of being a female comedian, I do represent all women at all times. So you are welcome, and I'm genuinely really fucking sorry. I just think in general, women don't enjoy clothes shopping enough to go every 3 weeks. Some do, good for them. I thought I was one of them. I thought I'd love it. Mainly because I found out there was a section for me and my people. Because when I first went as an adult, I learned about my people. Because I'm a 6'1" woman. Just people looking at me now like, she's gorgeous. Do you reckon she's got a broad back and speaks fluent German? Jawohl. It's fucking beautiful, right? 6'1", that means I'm a supermodel. Yes! I think a broad back's amazing on a woman because I can carry things. I can carry a relationship on this bad boy if only you'd let me! And German's sexy. I'm not having this argument with people anymore. Any second language on anyone, it's so beautiful, it's so attractive. It's just, when you speak German, you look like me and your surname's Bauer. People get tense. Trying to figure out, oh my God, how German is she? But it's cool because I'm obviously not German, right? Like, I'm obviously English. Like, I'm a tiny bit German, a tiny bit. Like, my parents, not even German. It was my grandparents, which is fun if you don't think about the dates. Dead now, scum! No, let me say this. My grandparents, sure, from Germany and Austria, but they'd already left to come to the UK before World War II. Huh? So my family is clean. Sort of. And I don't know if everyone knows this, but during the World Wars in the UK, everyone who had a German surname changed their surname to a random different spelling or a random different English name. Like, everyone did it, everyone. Even the royal family changed their German surname. My grandparents kept the German spelling. Just in case. Germany wins the war. They arrive in Britain and they could be like, English, Bauer, wir haben auf dich gewartet, toll! You've got to be prepared! Okay, sure, I'm a bit German, but I'm tall, that's what's important. I'm 6'1", that means I'm allowed to shop in the tall section. Do we have any women in here, 5'9" and above, that shop in tall? Give me a cheer. Oh my God, I love you. I love tall women. I had a vision when I first went to the tall section that it would just be the two of us, right? Forget them, scum. Just us, like, high-fiving, but really fucking high. You touch the ceiling, I touch it, 'cause we can. I don't know, you drop something on the floor, but your petite friend's not there to pick it up for you, and we're just like, leave it, Cara will get it later. That was my vision for the tall section. It was my dream. But you can agree with me that it's not like that? No, because we don't get a security guard, ensuring no petite women come into our zone. Now I'm aware I'm surrounded. I'm going to speak on behalf of us and tall women really quickly. I like petite women. I do. You girls are fun. Prosecco. But if I see one more petite woman coming into our zone, picking up my top and going, what a fun dress, I will lose my mind. That is bullshit, right? I have never in my life gone into your zone, picked up your belt and gone, what a fun bracelet. No! Got to learn to stick to our zones. And I'm aware I should not shout about sticking to your zones after talking about my German heritage. It's very disappointing for me. I genuinely believed when I was younger I'd be amazing at clothes shopping. Move out of my small town in Fleet, Hampshire, move up to London and be fashion itself. I think it's because I was raised in an era where every TV show was based off taking a woman shopping and forcing her to have a makeover she didn't want. I just think I knew more than I did. Do we remember this amazing era? It was the era when any woman, no matter how broken she was, could have everything fixed by one trip to River Island with Gok Wan. She'd arrive on screen and be like, so my partner left me and my house is on fire and I don't have a job and turns out I don't have a vagina anymore, so it's fucking mad. And they'd be like, oh, yellow chunky waist belt? And she'd be like, yes! Such a good time. It was the same era in Britain where every woman believed, and I say believed with no sense of irony, that if we ate 2 bowls of Special K twice a day for 2 weeks, we'd lose a jean size. Okay, that is actually the reason we don't have equal pay. It's because we don't deserve it. We're such dumb bitches. It's embarrassing at this point. I love makeover TV shows. I genuinely love them. Like, I miss them being on TV. We've only got a couple left. You know, my friend, she thinks the reason we don't have makeover TV shows anymore is because we don't need them. Because everyone is perfect just the way they are. That's like isn't that so nice? Like, I'm just dying saying it. Like, it's so cute. It's so cute. Like, you are perfect just the way you are. I love it. It's not true. I mean, I have a mirror. I can see myself. I have eyes. I can see all of you. We all need a makeover. And I'm not just saying that physically, of course not. I'm talking mentally. Of course you should always want to be a better version of yourself, a kinder person, a more generous person. You should always want that. It's just, I take it a little bit further. Sometimes try and become a different version of myself, a whole new person. I'd say I've been doing this since I was 14. Once a year since I was 14, I've wanted to be a new person so badly that I've just freaked out in the middle of the night and panicked and cut myself a fringe. I'm so aware I should say fringe. So much faster there. It's just like, and I love the tension. Also, come on, I'm 30, I have cut myself, but only for attention, so it's genuinely super chill. Do we know the fringe I'm talking about? This is a very specific fringe. I am not talking about a fringe that you go to a salon and pay to get done. I am talking about the fringe that you cut for yourself at 2 a.m, listening to the entirety of the Les Mis soundtrack. You want to be a new person, but you don't want to put the effort in? Ha-ha! Fringe it is! I love this fringe. I still do it yearly, because I'm a moron. And I forget that I have naturally very curly hair. So I cut it in the middle of the night, like Miz is playing, my hair's wet, it's amazing. Just looking at myself like, Helen, you've done it. But inevitably, Les Mis ends. And my hair dries. And it bounces up into the maddest row of ringlets you have ever seen on a woman in your life. Which was fine, right? Back in the day, I clip it back, I'm Lizzie McGuire, I'm crushing the game. It's different now. Times have changed. There's rules to fringes. Like, the higher your fringe, the worse your mental health. It is such a clear sign things aren't going right. You have got to be so careful. I'm only doing it once a year because I have this vision in my head, this dream of like me with my new fringe, looking amazing, walking down the street, running into my ex-boyfriend, and him being like, oh, who's the angel with the fringe? And I'm just like, ha! It's me! It's Helen! Love me! How amazing! I should make it clear that is literally never gonna happen. Like, ever. This is always a bit tricky to say, but when I say ex, I am referring to a guy that I refer to as an ex. But he does not refer to me as an ex. He refers to me as someone who just hung around him a lot for a long time. But I'm like, well, I was in love and I got my heart broken, so I'm counting it as a relationship. Thank you. We've all had that relationship, right? When you were like, we're in love, you just missed it. It's a tricky relationship to do. I was in one of these relationships for so long, and I was just walking around to my friends like, you can't meet him, but it's super serious, it's a relationship. Some of you might call that lying. Yeah, lying. I'm a liar, okay, I'm a liar. But I'm damn good at it. I'm a good liar. And do you know why I'm a good liar? Because I learned from the best. Because my mum, such a good liar. My mum's incredible at lying, incredible. I do want to go into my mum. I just want to check and see if anyone's got a similar mum to me in. I've got a very classic British mum where if I have a headache, she'll have a brain tumour. Always going to be one step ahead with her dramas. My mum's amazing. She only lies to protect herself, which I think is important. She just takes it that one step further. In 1997, my mum did the best lie. Now, do you guys remember 97? It was like the best year ever. Like, Diana died, Titanic came out, it was incredible. Also, do you know that some people think those two events aren't related? In 97, my mum found herself in that classic situation where all of her friends got together to go and see the film Titanic, and they didn't invite her. Which sucks, right? Like, it's awful, that feeling of being left out the group, but it happens to all of us, and then usually you move on. But what was awful was the following Monday, my mum was with all of them at the school gate, and they were all talking about the film and how amazing it was, how much fun they had. And then one of them, Rosemary, don't even get me started. She was like, oh, God, oh, we're so wicked. We didn't invite you. Did we, Anne? My mum won't be embarrassed. Lord, no. She said, I was invited, I just didn't want to go. Good lie. Solid lie. Self-preservation. Leave it there. My mum is a creative. She kept going. My mum said she didn't want to see the film Titanic because it would bring back too many memories for her. Because in a past life, she was on the boat. Which is too strong a choice of a lie. A lie she sticks to this day. If I play Celine Dion, she's like, Helen, I will have a flashback. No, you won't! She's one of these people. Do we all know someone like this? Like, it's definitely mental illness, but it's early in the show, so we'll call it kooky. She's a bit of a kook. She's a crazy kook. Like, my mum's best friend is a woman she hired to be her clairvoyant. Whose name, by the way, is Trish. Look, I don't want to slag off any Trishes. I love a Trish in general. They're amazing. A Trish can do many things. Like, a Trish can get divorced, she can go Mallorca, she can have stepkids, she can have a chat show. A Trish can thrive. A Trish cannot speak to the other side. But my mum is in love with Trish, because Trish has told my mum, you are correct, Anne. You do have ghosts in your new build next to Fleet Service Station on the M3. Okay. And the reason, Anne, that you can tell they're there is because you have powers. Because you are, in fact, a witch. Okay. And now Trish needs to meet me and my little sister, because apparently the women in our family are in a lineage. A lineage of witches. Now, look, I don't want to argue with my mum and Trish. I have learnt, not a good idea. The curses. But I I agree with them slightly. Like the women in our family, we're in a lineage of poor mental health, bad relationships with men, and oddly angled vaginas, 100%. But it's also like, screw it, if we're calling it witching, I'll join the coven. Hand me the hat! Bit of drama. I've got a dramatic mum. I know a lot of people think they have a dramatic parent, but I know my mum is the most dramatic. 'Cause when I was 6 years old, my mum decided, with no prior training in this field whatsoever, that she was going to run a drama school from our living room. All she did was change the family voicemail service from "Hello, you've reached the Bauer family" to "Hello, you've reached the Bauer family and the Anne Bauer School of Drama." 'Tis a confident choice. Because she was teaching kids, like little 7-year-old kids, in our living room, whilst me and my dad and brother and sister were just on the other side of the door in the kitchen, looking at each other like, is this legal? Are we serious? But we figured it was fine, right? She just needed a degree to teach kids. She needs a pashmina and a brooch, and she had both. Also, she's teaching 7-year-olds drama. It's a wonderful thing to teach them. You're teaching them play and confidence. Like, every 7-year-old around the world learning drama is being taught the same way, right? You get your group of 7-year-olds all together, like, come on babies, blah, blah, blah. Like, let's do a scene. We'll do a fun little improv. Let's say it's your birthday, happy birthday, and everyone else, you're at the zoo, and you pick a different animal, and just lose your mind, just have fun, play with it, and you walk around and look at all of them. What a fun scene. Should we do it? Let's do it. That is how you teach drama to kids. My mum was teaching it more as a sort of therapy for herself. Because she'd get her 7-year-old, just one at a time, and be like, okay, sweetheart, come on, Layla. Let's do a scene. You're a middle-aged woman. Somewhere in northeast Hampshire, let's say Fleet. Your family does not understand you. Your husband is emotionally unavailable! You have a migraine. Play out the scene. How, right? How would a 7-year-old play out that scene? The answer is I did, and I did it very well. I was in the drama school. Obviously, I was in the drama school. Not my brother and sister, just me, 3 nights a week in my living room. My mum taught me everything. Like, the first boy I ever fancied was in the Anne Bauer School of Drama. My mum found out I fancied him, and she was like, oh my God, amazing, let's do a couple sex scene, Helen. And I was like, oh my God, okay, why not? Let's give it a go. And then she played the woman, and I watched to learn. If we had an argument at home, she would make me improv it in class the next day for everyone else. I played ungrateful, secret-eating daughter so many times. I believe it's called method acting. Yeah, I was method! The weirdest thing she taught me? She taught me how to cry on cue. That was not a skill I needed. I was already crying the entire time. I mean, my mum died in the Titanic before I was born. I have genuinely been through so much. I'm just a crier. I'm an emotional woman, and I love crying. And when I say crying, I'm not talking about, a little cry, not like a baby bird cry. I had a friend, she once cried because she said her boyfriend loves her too much. Go fuck yourself! If you're gonna cry, you do it with some goddamn dignity. When I cry, I go for it. I do what's known as the life cry. Do you guys know the life cry? It's a cry when you cry about everything that's ever happened, everything that's gonna happen, and everything that's happening in that moment. Even though technically nothing's ever happened, it's gonna happen, and nothing's happening in that moment, but you're just like, you call your best friend? Can we talk? She says yes, but you can't face it, so you hang up for the attention. Okay, some of you might know it as depression, like chronic depression. Interesting, okay. For anyone not getting this cry, I can best describe it as the cry where you really get the lyrics. To Jeff Buckley's Hallelujah. Even though it reflects our lives in no way. But you're just like, oh my fucking God. Shit. She tied him to the kitchen chair. She broke his throne. And she cut his hair. Oh my God. Did she give him a fringe? It's a powerful cry. And you know that some people think you should only cry and have a breakdown like that at home in private? Idiots. Do it in public, for attention. If you do it at home, who's gonna notice? Who's gonna ask if you're okay? I only cry because I can't be vulnerable, and I'm just hoping, praying that someone will be like, oh my God, there's something going on with you. Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about it? Thing is, they never do, because I can only do it when I'm 3 bottles of wine drunk. And by that point, I'm having a breakdown, and instead of my friends coming up to me and saying, Helen, do you want to talk about something? They just come over and go, seriously, put your tit away and go home. Embarrassing everyone else. Leave. Get on now! Obviously, I don't just walk out into the night. That would be so stupid. Like, quick safety notice for women. Like, when you're leaving on a night out, let your friends do the dance around you. You know, the dance, like, text me when you get home safe. Text me when you get home safe. I'm gonna track your journey. Text me, text me, text me. Which is so important. You have to text your friends when you get home safe. It's just that me, personally, I like to wait an hour. To see who really cares. 'Tis a risky game, but I will test those friendships. It takes me a while to get home. I know as a woman in this day and age, I shouldn't enjoy this so much, but genuinely, I love walking home drunk by myself. I love it. You know when it's raining outside and there's wind in the trees? You're stumbling along, headphones in, full volume. I like to listen to random sad piano music, Sonata 6. Assuming everyone's looking at me from their houses and flats, like, oh my God, where's she going? What's her story? Is she in a music video? Yes. Do you think she's going home? Doubt it. I'm drunk. I'm emotional. I'm gonna eat! Just to quickly check, has everyone here had the privilege of eating a kebab whilst completely shit-faced? It's insane, isn't it? Like, it's biblical. The way the food melts inside your mouth like the inside of a Lindt chocolate ball. Like, what is that? Also, I know it's a comedy show, I don't want to get too scientific, but when you eat when you're drunk, the calories don't count. It's like eating on a train, it's not technically a meal. Smart, smart, smart. Thing is, I've got this cute thing I do, it's so adorable. When I'm drunk and emotional, I can now eat 2 kebabs in the space of time it takes the average human to eat half a kebab. What? Where do you put it? It's just a metabolism thing. Like, look at my wrist. Thing is, I found out in a horrible way. How bullshit is this? If you go into a kebab shop by yourself late at night, crying with a tit hanging out, and order 2 kebabs, they're like, 2 kebabs, where's your friends? What the fuck? I want food, not shame! Luckily, I've got smart about it. I'll tell you what I do, very simple. What you want to do, go to one kebab shop. Order 1 kebab. And then you eat it. On the way to the second kebab shop. It's late at night. There's people in the second kebab shop. You don't want to get caught out. That'll be embarrassing. Wipe yourself down for crumbs. I like to use my training at the Helen Bauer School of Drama to take on the role of woman who has never heard of a kebab before in her life. And you go in the second shop like... What is this place? Sorry, I usually don't come here. I love salad. This is so mad for me. Is it table service? I don't know. Who is Donna? So cute! I don't know why I feel the need to do the show. It's only because I'm always so paranoid whatever I'm doing that everyone's watching me and judging me. You know that feeling, particularly when I'm eating, everyone's looking at me like, oh, why is she eating that? I cannot get over it. I think it's because whatever I do in my life, I'm always like, this has got to be a scene. Surely I'm on, you know? We should be filming this. I just watched way too much reality TV show and grew up in a drama school, and I think it really does a number on your head. Have you guys seen the film The Truman Show? Yeah, it's a good film, right? I feel like most people watch The Truman Show and go, Jim Carrey, a comedic genius as well as a great dramatic actor. I watched it and I was like, oh, that is such a good idea for a TV show. It's amazing, it's such a good idea. Someone must have made it. Someone would have made it. It's so good. But if they'd have made it, I would know about it. Because I watch all those shows. So if it's been made, and I don't know about it, Truman has to be me. And what is so frightening about saying that, and most of you going, really quiet, is it just makes me so much more paranoid that you're all actors and you think the scene's gone wrong. Like I figured it out live on stage in front of you, what are you gonna do? Like I just, think about it, how would I know? How would I know? My first day in life would be my first day on set. My entire life, everyone would be acting around me. And like any baby in any long-running TV show, like EastEnders or Coronation Street, that baby is cast because they are cute. It's around 6 years old, the director looks at that kid and goes, cute kid, can't act. Better replace him. Can't replace me. I'm being Truman'd or Bowered. Need to get me some acting lessons. Easiest way to do that, start the Helen Bauer School of Drama in my house. This is the brain I live with! And most people think it would be a nightmare being filmed 24/7. A nightmare? Come on, I would love it. I wouldn't know the cameras were there, they'd capture my full range. They'd finally be able to capture a side of me that I could never show people. Like, I don't know, my vulnerable side. Like, I can't even say it. That is how afraid I am of being vulnerable. I just think I need to be tricked into being vulnerable. I need to be tricked into it. My whole life I've just wanted one of those moments where people look at me and they go, oh my God, what's going on with her? Do you think she's okay? Because no one ever asks randomly, and I'm always doing a show, so no one ever thinks that I'm not okay. No one asks when you're a child because they can't figure it out, but no one asks when you're an adult because they assume you can tell them, because they assume that you are able to communicate. I can't. I just have to hope people figure it out. I think we all know this feeling from school. Like at school, my dream at school was, you know that moment when you're sitting in the classroom, teacher at the front, and the receptionist comes in with a note for one of the students. And we know this note. It's usually that someone's forgotten their school lunch money or like forgot their PE kit. But every now and again, this note was something more. And whenever this receptionist came in, I was just like, oh, is it death? Is it for me? Just so excited at the prospect of being told something awful in front of people. Want to hear something ridiculous? All 4 of my grandparents died when I was at school. My parents told me when I got home. No one sent a note. What a waste! Could have been a beautiful scene! I mean, how much drama did I want in my life? Like, seriously. I was raised inside of a drama school. I did drama GCSE. I was surrounded by drama, and it was never enough. Of course it was never enough. I mean, look at me. I'm a white middle-class woman from a white middle-class town. There was no drama. We created our own. Our only currency growing up was imagined emotional trauma. And my God, did we love it. When I was 13, our 2 drama teachers at my school did something amazing. They decided that everyone in my year had to write and perform a monologue to the rest of their class, which is a terrifying exercise. And we could do anything we wanted. Like, it could be comedic, silly, slapstick even. But my God, we went dark. And we went dark hard. The boys, they were okay at it. Like, they were okay. Like, every boy in my year pretended to be a drug addict on the back of a motorcycle, which was just like a classroom chair. They turned around and they were like, oh my God, I'm just so addicted to smack. And it's like, okay, George, your mum shops at Waitrose, you're fine. The girls, so much worse. We'd read Jacqueline Wilson. We knew what we were doing. One girl in my year, incredible, age 13, wrote and performed a monologue pretending to be a wife who had just murdered her ex-husband, wiping the blood off her hands. Another girl, age 13, wrote and performed a monologue pretending to be an evacuee child, lost at a station during World War II. Amazing. My friend, age 12, wrote and performed a monologue pretending to be a 6-year-old, writing a letter to her daddy, who had just died in 9/11. Her dad worked in the Domino's in town. We saw him all the time. He'd never been to America. You know what she got? Full marks. Now, there was one thing all my classmates' monologues had in common. They were dramatic, sure. But you knew they weren't true. Because they were set in a different time zone, or they were playing a different age. And I cannot make this clear enough, that my monologue was not true. But my God, did I try and make it plausible. Because I wrote a monologue, written by me, directed by the Helen Bauer School of Drama at home. She had to be involved, she had to. About a 13-year-old girl who was being sexually abused by her dad. I wore my own pajamas that I ripped myself at the crotch for extra marks. I got an A. Thank you. And I cannot make this clear enough, because this is truly the message of the show. My dad has never hugged me, let alone fucked me. Are we clear? He's a lovely man! He's a lovely man, as Michael Barrow, good man! I hate that in my show all I do is whinge about my mum. I feel like society at large, like blame the mother, nothing on the dad. But seriously, my dad, genuinely, so inconsequential. I just have one of those dads. I don't even call my dad Dad. No sad reason there. It's just if I'm on a street, like calling out, Dad, 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 Dad. Every dad ever will turn around. Random people will turn around. Children, dogs. I get nothing until I'm like, Michael Bauer, and he's like, oh, hi Helen, do you want to go Bella Italia? Or... It's his entire vibe. He's had 3 jobs in his entire life, 3. First, he was a dustbin man, loved it, why wouldn't he? He thrived. Second, lawnmower at Chesterton World of Adventures. In his words, it was more of a zoo then. I don't know why that's important. But out of everything in the show, that's one thing he wants to be clear. And currently he works in sewage, because your business is our business. We're number 1 with your number 2s. He's disgusting, okay? I just don't understand him. My dad and me are so different. I spend my entire life projecting how I want people to see me. He doesn't care at all. He has no control. He has no control and no self-awareness. 'Tis a bad mix. I'll give you an example. You know how everyone in the world has one anecdote that they think really sums them up? Like an anecdote about a time they were an incredibly adventurous person, an incredibly generous person. My dad has one of these anecdotes that he loves telling people. I'm going to tell you what his anecdote is, and you just tell me what you get from it. Because he thinks it's a story about the time he was an incredible water engineer. So the story goes, Dad, this one time, I was in the shower and I shit myself. Question 1, if you're in a bathroom and you shit yourself anywhere other than the toilet, what the hell is happening with you? In his defense, he does always make it clear he was mad desperate, so I get it, accidents happen. Like, I'm not gonna be a bitch about it, right? So he's in the shower and he shits himself. And he looks down on the shit. You gotta look, right? Looks down and goes, oh. Can't leave a shit in the shower. So he uses his brain and he mashes it down with his big toe through the drain. He thinks that is the story of a time he was an engineer. That is the story of the time you waffle-stomped your way to glory and nothing else! Also, question 2, if you were that desperate, the shit should come out as liquid. The fact it was solid enough, a toe got involved. The man made a choice! If I had done that, I would take it to my grave. No one would ever hear that story. But he's telling everyone, could you imagine being that vulnerable with people? To openly tell them that in conversation? For me, if I want to open up to someone, I just drop it into conversations, like little hints. Like they'll be like, oh, like, how are you? And I'll be like, oh, I'm good. And like, how are you? And they're like, I'm good. And I'm like, oh my God, me too. But like, I'm gonna go because I think I'm gonna kill myself. And they're like, oh my God, what? And I'm like, oh, I'm already gone. Like, that is the only way. The only way. And trying to learn to be vulnerable one-on-one, because like genuinely, I love one-on-one conversations. Like, I'm a wine drinker, I'm a crier. Obviously, I love it. You know those deep life chats when you sit down with someone, usually the night before they become your best friend or your life partner, that night where you drink all the alcohol and talk about everything that's ever happened to you. These chats are amazing. The only thing that's annoying about these conversations is you'll be talking about your childhood, and then they start talking about their childhood. And it's like, no. We are not done discussing my childhood yet. Wait your turn. I just think with these conversations, there is a tendency with my generation for them to get a little bit competitive as to which one of you had the more tragic childhood. Even though we know you can't compare tragedies, and we mustn't, my God, my generation, we will try. I know this happens because I was talking to this really nice girl at a house party, like basic like you, but so fun, right? And she said when she was younger, her mum was distant. And it's like, oh. The old out tragedy and game. Game on. I said, when I was younger, my mum was super distant. She said, oh really? Because my mum was super really distant, and I like winning. So I said, well, my mum's dead! I am aware we have established my mother is not dead, she is living. I didn't call her up immediately. I was like, guess what she did? I told someone you were dead. And she was like, Helen, how fun. Obviously she loved it, she's my mother. She's like, oh my God, how did I die? Car, cancer, boat, again? She was proud of me. She's my mother. She taught me how to out tragedy in conversation. Problem is, I can't play it with her because she's so good at it. She's had more practice. Like, a couple of years ago was my 26th birthday. It's also the first birthday that both my parents completely forgot about. Just missed it. Which, obviously, as per gender roles, Dad is excused. That's Mum's problem. Also, can we just admit, there is nothing better for a woman in her 20s than her mum messing up. And you getting to point out her mistake. Haha, you messed up, old bitch. Here I come! I went to meet her the following week and I was like, Mum, it was my birthday at the weekend and you missed it. What happened? And she was like, I don't want to talk about your birthday right now. I was like, you didn't at the weekend either, so that's fine. She was like, no, it's not that. It's just that. I'm leaving your father. Good step up. That is how you play the game. Also, my mum read a book on how to announce divorce to your children, but aimed at 6-year-olds. Because she was like, Helen, it doesn't mean that Dad and I love you any less. It's like, yes, it fucking does. You both forgot my birthday. It's terrible parenting. And then she was annoyed at me. She was annoyed at me because she wanted a proper reaction. Because technically, we had done the scene before. I think she wanted it more like it was in the living room. Where she'd be like, Helen, I'm leaving your father, and I'd be a Victorian street child. Like, Mater, what we do for Michaelmas? Like, something like that. She really wanted me to drop my guard and for us to have a proper conversation, but I couldn't do it. Of course I couldn't do it. My mum told me she was leaving my dad. I was just so distracted thinking, oh my God, like, the actor who plays Michael has been fired. The producers warned him, they did. They said, do not tell that shit story one more time, Michael, but he couldn't stop himself. I couldn't handle it. I could not handle that moment. Of course I couldn't. Supposed to have a moment with my mum and open up and talk sensibly, but I couldn't do it because I'm so trapped in my own head. I'm always doing the Helen show. I'm always on. Like, whenever I meet someone, it's like, hi, I'm Helen. I'm 6'1". I've got a broad back and I speak fluent German. Like, it's too much. It'd be amazing to get out of my head just for a moment. And I know I'm not the only person who's like this, who's always on for people, trying to project something. I know this because I cannot go for a night out without meeting a woman who goes, oh my God, you are such a card. You are just like my friend Sarah. You've got to meet her. Number one, I don't want to meet myself. Could you imagine how insane that would be? 2 of us in one place. Also, I don't want to meet myself. She'd do all the same conversational tricks I do. We'd see right through each other. Thing is, I'm an arrogant little cunt. I go and meet Sarah just in case. She might be amazing. So I go outside to meet Sarah, and there's just this amazing row of women. I'm so flattered, just so beautiful, so smart, so poised. And it's like, yes, which one of you angels is Sarah? And they just part in the middle to a woman lying in the street. Fringe up here. 3 empty wine bottles around her. 2 kebabs in hand. Tit hanging out, not great. Just looking up at me like, oh my God. It's like looking in a mirror. Are you kidding me? All of our friends like, oh my God, it's you, it's literally you. You're like twins. She's so funny, isn't she so funny? And it's like, do you think she's funny? She's having a breakdown. Someone talk to her, someone help her. All of them are just looking at me confused. So I have to step up. I have to talk to her the way way that I wish people would talk to me sometimes. Just take me seriously. I have to grab her, pick her up, and say, Sarah, talk to me. Sarah. I know you're super concerned and frightened to open up to people and tell them that you're not always having the best time because you're frightened that if you tell them that you're not always on, that they won't like you anymore. They'll see you as someone sad and they don't want to hang out with you. But Sarah, that's not going to happen. Drop the act. Just take a moment because I'm here to listen. So for once in your life, Sarah, be vulnerable. But I will go first. I have been through so much more. April 15th, 1912, my mum died of the Titanic!
Thank you very much.